We're continuing on the Dreamweaver levels with Dark Passage, which is a very descriptive name, but except it's not, because it's actually quite bright. This has more to do with a level gimmick more than anything
The
else.
passages themselves are dark. It's not.
Nah,
See, look, it's dark. It's dark. There you go.
It's fairly bright.
A lighting deficient.
Subjective dark passage. Relatively dark passage.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but that's basically just the entire gimmick of this area. Just some of the enemies become big when the lights are off. Woo.
Big and scary.
And I wouldn't say scary.
They have that.
Well, in the original, it could be just me being a child back then, but man, like the demon dogs look terrifying, and that's just the result of lower polygons, less detail. They just looked like giant, scary blobs that are ready to eat you. They kind of captured that a little bit, but they also changed the breed of the small dog, which is weird.
Yeah, the small dogs are just bulldogs.
Yeah.
What the hell
Look at
is
this guy.
up with your tail, man?
Okay.
That's
Listen,
a tail. It's a tail.
I thought that was a ball sack
It's a tail.
for a second.
It's a tail.
All right, I'm sorry.
This is a kid show.
It's also
it's
a
not.
lizard, so, sexual organs work differently. Just saying.
I know. I looked it up.
That's what you were doing during the break.
Yeah.
You didn't get coffee.
He was looking up Jurassic testicles.
I know vague stuff about it because it comes up in the Jurassic Park novel. But,
What, dragon testicles specifically?
well,
And
Have
as
you
we
not
all
read?
know, Jurassic Park took no liberties with how the dinosaur testicles worked. They were very in detail.
it didn't really take liberties so much as assume that they were along the lines of lizards and birds. So, the reasonable thing to assume when you're talking about bird-like lizards.
Oh, man. Like, most disappointing thing in my life so far is finding out dinosaurs may have been just overgrown chickens.
Man, I liked
Didn't they-
classic
didn't they
dinosaurs
double
design.
retcon on
When they
that, or is
added
that-
the
I forget.
feathers, it really just jumped the shark, I prefer scaly skin dinosaurs.
When they messed with the dragon cannon.
It's okay, though,
Are-
because they're going to bring classic
Established.
dinosaurs back into the modern dinosaur gameplay. And, it'll be great, and nobody will get tired of seeing classic dinosaur be its own character in the dinosaur series,
You're saying all this, and all I can think of is classic dinosaurs have their wrists wrong. Like, but before you even get to the question of feathers, dinosaurs like Velociraptor and T-Rex and whatnot couldn't turn their hands down, so their hands would always be stuck facing each other's palms. Like if you were hold up both your arms and just relax your wrists, your hands would be turned in toward each other, right? And that's the way dinosaurs would have held their hands, not like all down and clawing downward and whatever, like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs. They couldn't do that. They didn't have the equipment necessary to turn their hands that way.
So, Jurassic Park is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Worst
They
movie
would have
ever,
to turn the
0
hands
out of 10.
90 degrees inward.
You know another oddball. Another oddball thing in the Jurassic Park novel. Certain dinosaurs, like the Velociraptor, are described as having lizard tongues that flick in and out, and the T-Rex has a long forked tongue that he actually tries to grab Tim with at one point. And they were going to include that in the movie, but Jack Horner was like, "What is this? This is fucking stupid. Dinosaurs shouldn't have that."
I know. I was there.
Well, Jack Horner.
Guys got it all
Jack
wrong.
Horner being like a paleontologist. Ironically, though.
Well, but no, what if that would be some sort of magical twist? Because it's actually like a 10,000-year-old caveman.
Dinosaurs were around 10 million years ago, John. Actually, more than
Oh,
that,
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think.
thinking of Vandal Savage.
10 million? I'm sorry. It's more than in the order of like 60-something billion, Ted.
Yeah, I was like, isn't it like 64, 65 million years ago?
Okay, you know what? Fuck you guys.
I think it's
You need to step up your dinosaur lore.
I think
Ted.
it's
God.
68 billion years ago or something like that.
Oh Christ! No, not billion. I heard million.
Million.
No,
Yeah,
I
billion?
don't even think the Earth was. I don't even think the Earth was around 68 billion.
No,
years
it
ago.
was. It was just like a pile of
Million,
gross
million,
Venus-like
is it
crap.
million?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it because I'm too lazy to to twist around and grab my dinosaur book and confirm which of the two numbers I remember. 68 million. Yeah, that sounds more right. I'm tired.
I don't have my
I'm sleepy.
dinosaur zoo books to catch up.
That's
Wait,
the name I've
Zoo
not heard in a
Books,
long
did you
time.
get,
Think
did
of
you have a
dinosaurs.
subscription to Zoo Books?
But,
Yeah.
you know...
Oh my god, you're a legend!
I'm an American, of course I did.
No, I never, my parents never let me get Zoo Books. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh man,
Oh,
I
man.
remember those.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
I
They had
remember
those
seeing-
commercials
the
on
second
all
you
I
the
would
time.
remember
see the-
seeing them on
the cover,
TV,
you'd know.
yeah. I just never bothered with it because I have these 4 great big binders
Oh,
of animal
okay,
stuff.
yeah. The logo is a dead giveaway. I remember these. Yeah.
Dude,
I never had a subscription
They
to
were
these either.
they were so cool. They had like
Scholastic Book Fair AF.
On
Dude,
a
Dude, the Scholastic book fairs were the best part of elementary school.
on the subject
Animorphs. Anybody? Animorphs? No.
Yeah,
Nobody?
Animorphs
on the
Nobody
subject
Never read Animorphs.
of dragons to tie our dinosaur
It's like,
tangent
no.
in and
None of this zoo shit. I want to go back to mythical
No,
creatures.
no,
Did
I'm going
they
somewhere
never
with
made
this.
an Animorph. They never made an Animorphs where they turn into a dragon, and I'm sad.
I'm going somewhere with this. On the subject of dragons, to tie it in somewhat with our Jurassic Park and dinosaur tangent, flat earthers,
But not Spyro.
the kind of flat earthers and like 7-day creationists, I've seen them online, and some of them actually argue that the fact that we have dragon myths is proof positive that dinosaurs and humans walked the earth at the same time.
Or it could just be that they found the bones.
That too,
You know.
yeah. But actually, I very much doubt that's the case because like I don't really think like medieval times people or earlier would have been gentle enough with them to avoid destroying them while digging them up.
Well, this goes into like some paleontology stuff, but not all of them were just were underground. Like some of them were just washed up on the beach sometimes, So, it's not that out of left field to imagine that,
Oh yeah,
like a
but
T-Rex skull
but
would
that's not
float
really going to
somewhere.
happen with the larger dinosaurs though.
It's not out. I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility. I mean,
Yeah,
certainly
just
it's unlikely, but-
out of the realm of probability.
On the other hand, humanity's been around a long ass time that I would say that it happening at least once is likely enough. It's like one of those things about people being like, no, aliens don't exist. And I'm like, if our universe is theoretically infinite, then the chances of there being aliens is
Literally
like-
zero is 100% at that point.
yeah. I mean, are they ever going to find us, and are we ever going to find them? Probably not, but they're out there. And if you are out there, aliens, call me.
What if they're right? This is the human civilization they're observing right now.
Is-
They're questioning whether or not they want to come to Earth, and they're seeing just 5 people across the country just talking to their computer monitors.
Man, they're talking
Are
about the
we-
Reignited trilogy?
They're
Oh,
not
gosh.
even talking about the game.
For all we know, it could just be a Prime Directive thing.
If human beings are this unfocused, God. Never mind. Scrap the plan.
Well, I personally subscribe to the South Park theory where we're just a reality TV show.
So
Well, we're all the Truman Show.
I was about
I
to
was gonna say
say, yeah, we're all living the Truman Show.
People think you're either in a Truman Show-esque reality or you're in a Matrix.
It's fun to think about.
Well, I mean,
No, it terrifies me.
Well, I mean, the Matrix theory basically depends on if we ourselves can create a perfect simulation of real life, then the odds of us being a perfect simulation basically is
Yeah,
I
that's
guarantee.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
we're,
cool to think
we're
about.
probably some alien kid's version of The Sims out there,
Ooh.
And I mean, if you think about it, the robots in The Matrix were actually relatively decent. Like, they gave us a good enough world to live in. You know.
No, in the story they actually tried to give us a utopia, but it didn't work because humans just don't work that way.
Yeah, no, we get suspicious if things are going too well. But
Yeah.
like, they gave us a decent-ish enough world to live in. The 90s weren't the worst. So, there's that. And, they were using us as batteries, but we still got to live our life and crap. So, like,
That is something that always kind of bothered me, though. Like, going into deep Matrix lore here, where it's like the first few matrices, I guess, the plural, that the robots built for humans were utopian, and humans just instinctively figured out at some point that this doesn't feel right. How would they know that if they were born into that kind of world? Like, I'd imagine if it was like the first generation humans would have problems because they know they had the previous life to back on. But like new generation humans,
it's more that the human condition involves struggling and overcoming things. When that obstacle isn't there, we kind of have nothing to do.
So it might not have been so much as like we rebelled against the Matrix, but maybe we just started killing each other because, you know, have you ever read any dystopian novel in your life?
Gee, Matrix John, how come your robot overlord lets you have 2 hot dogs?
The rebellion has begun.
And then 30,000 people died.
Yeah.
Because of that dreadful hot dog incident.
See, I haven't actually watched The Matrix front to back.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's a shame they never made a sequel.
relevant XKCD.
Well, they made a third one, which is weird because they never made a second one.
I know. I need to go from 1 to 3.
I guess if you count the Animatrix, you know.
Well, the Animatrix was pretty good.
It's a shame they never made any video games about it, though. That could have been cool. Yeah.
I know, right? Like.
Oh, that's the second movie. Okay. Actually, don't play Enter the Matrix.
Enter the Matrix could have been good. It could have been amazing, but it wasn't.
This sounds like another BrainScratch commentary in the future.
No, dude.
No, we probably because that game actually has like exclusive cutscenes for the
which would definitely get
for
flagged.
the game, which will probably get flagged. Yeah.
All right, excuses. I see.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Cowards.
A true.
Yeah, that was our last flight level.
A true champion of free speech would mirror the cutscenes and put them in a weird frame that captures them in like the upper corner of the video. Yeah.
Can somebody just slap an unregistered Hypercam 2 into the corner?
Yeah.
Right about now? Please and thank you.
Naruto episode 63, part 1 of 3.
Oh.
with the third part being
30-second Linkin Park numb opening. Done in Windows Movie Maker with that rainbow effect.
With the part
White
3 being
text.
4 minutes,
I
because that's
know.
all it took.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? You've already watched an hour of Mega Video today. Please come back in 45 minutes in order to watch some more.
Oh man, the sad thing is, like when we were doing our like very very earliest movie commentaries, I think Mega Video was one of our first experiments, and
Well, because it was the only place that we could find that would host the stuff for free.
Well,
I
no, it
remember
was
back
the only.
I remember our first movie commentaries where we not only recorded the commentary track, we also uploaded the entire fucking movie with it.
Oh, yeah, we should have gone to jail.
Oops.
Actually, no, that was before I joined the team. You guys should.
Yeah, that was before you joined us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys
So,
should be
yeah,
in
'cause
jail. I get to keep the rest of the subscribers.
you're gonna post our bail.
With what money?
It's like, I don't know.
That's what the ad revenue for this channel is going towards, I would
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, we don't make enough money here to post bail. Especially with it being a federal offense, please.
thankfully none of that stuff exists anymore.
I mean, what movie upload?
NSA, please don't kill us. Thanks.
At this point in time, I think they have bigger problems.
Mudada.
I think, is this the one
Dio.
with the...
What the
Yeah,
hell?
This one. Yeah.
Elf doll? He's
It's so
waving
adorable,
at you.
right? He's got the fairies.
He waves at you with the doll. What? How old is that dragon?
Well, it's because the level's Dreamweavers, so he's going to bed. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh. So, this is like, if we had talking bears, they'd have teddy humans.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man, don't kink shame, all right? He's found inner peace, and that's what matters.
True. That is what matters.
They did have teddy bears wanting to sleep and enter the dragonfly. We were so close to living that dream.
Well, there you go, guys. That was your reference to Enter the Dragonfly, then.
Yeah, I wanted to drop one in.
You know, a true Spyro fan would be referencing Hero's Tale instead.
What would he though?
What?
No, not really. There's nothing
Yeah, no.
about that game.
I couldn't tell you. Like all I remember is Blink the stupid mole. That was Hero's Tale.
True Skylanders. True Spyro fan has all the Skylander figures.
That's where we ended off last time. Where Spyro had a weird
I
stupid
noticed-
kid.
There's a
Version
lot of
of
hesitancy
himself.
in Ant's answer there.
What happened?
Ant,
A true
do you have
Spyro
all the
fan would know
Skylander
all.
Oh, do I have all this? No.
Yeah.
God, no.
A true
enough
Spyro
I have
fan
all
would
the
know
amiibo,
all
last thing I
3
need.
celebrity voices for Sparks the Dragonfly.
What?
Wait, did Sparks get like celebrity voices?
He got 3
yeah,
because
in
they
each of the
recast
Legend
him
games, they
each
kept changing
time.
the voice actors. Is David Spade, that one guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Ryan Stiles, Colin Mockery.
And then,
Greg Proops.
oh my God, the name's escaping me. Who played Fry in Futurama?
Oh, Billy West.
Billy West.
Billy West, because it sounds just like Fry. And I forgot the name of the guy who's in Whose Line. I don't know.
Which, who are you talking
Fake
about?
Spyro
Which other
fan
guy?
confirmed.
Black guy, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, yeah, Wayne Brady. So
Yeah.
it's David Spade, Wayne Brady, and Billy West. They all played Sparks in that order.
And for some reason in that series, Gary Oldman was in it too.
Wait, Gary Oldman's in Legend of Spyro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Frodo was the voice of Spyro.
I know that part. I
Which
did not
Frodo?
know.
Are we talking
Elijah
like
Wood.
live action Frodo
Elijah Wood.
or
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. We're
Elijah
talking about
Wood.
the 70s rotoscope Lord of the Rings film.
well, there's not just that. There's also the Return of the King animated movie. Frodo with the 9 fingers.
Wait, they gave him.
Wait,
was
is
that
that-
on
is that his full name?
Is that on purpose that they gave him 9 fingers, or
Because he bites. Okay, it was a movie done in the style of the Hobbit cartoon movie, which was done for like little kids. But you know, Frodo gets his finger bitten off. So in order to make that seem like more child friendly, they had it like really low key censored, but they expressed it through song. So the song was Frodo of the 9 Fingers, and it was sung by like a bard or something. It was interesting.
Very weird.
Yeah. The animated Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies have this weird disconnect where there's a good childlike The Hobbit movie, and then there's like this really serious rotoscoped animated movie that covers the first 2 volumes of the Lord of the Rings, and then there's Return of the King, which goes back to the Hobbit style, and I'm just like,
I still want the Beatles Lord of the
The
Rings.
tonal shifts are damning.
wait, the Beatles were going to do an album based on Lord of the Rings?
Well, no, they wanted to make a movie. They wanted to make a movie version of Lord of the Rings with them as the hobbits, but then Tolkien was like, "Yeah, no."
What? Like, actually, what the fuck?
So who out of the Beatles would
Well,
make
Ringo would
Frodo?
be
Would be
probably
Pippin.
Pippin, yeah, because nobody likes him, and he doesn't do anything important.
Paul would obviously have to be Frodo.
No,
Yeah,
no,
'cause-
no, John would be.
Why,
think
why
John
would
Lennon?
John be Lennon? Why would
What?
John be Lennon?
Why would John
Why
be
would John be Lennon?
What, you expect him to be the Sam? God, man.
And John Lennon as himself. Lord of the Rings.
that's kind of like
Ba, 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 ba.
that's kind of like how Jack Nicholson handles every role he's ever been cast in.
Well, I mean, who would Paul be then?
God, I don't know.
Is he? Can he make a good
'Cause-
Samwise?
No, I think George would make a good Samwise. Mind you, no one really talks about George, but
It's probably a good thing though that the Lord of the
So
Rings.
no, wait. Here's what you do.
All this talk is like, I want now a Beatles mix of they're taking
You
the
have
Hobbit
you
size.
have John be Frodo. Okay, you have Paul be Sam, and then you have Yoko Ono be Gollum. All right.
Oh my god.
he wouldn't be wrong, is the thing.
It's probably a good thing though, in all seriousness, that the Lord of the Rings had to wait so long to get a proper movie done for it. Because like, if they had done some cheesy, weird Wizard of Oz era fantasy movie that we then had to live up to when making a modern movie, you know that the modern movie would be very different, and trying to like ape the appeal of that older movie instead of doing its own thing.
It would probably try to be like way darker if the original Lord of the Rings movie was viewed as a kids movie.
Yeah.
You know.
As it is, the Lord of the Rings movie we got from Peter Jackson was already more focused on things that the books didn't really focus on. So, any more...
Oh, the books. Oh, the books meander all over the place.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm talking about is, like, the books really don't focus on cool action at all. Like, even slightly. So...
The battles just sort of happen and then they end.
Yeah, and then the movies took a lot from Dungeons and Dragons, oddly enough, in how they presented their fantasy elements. Like, I'm pretty sure that Gimli more strongly resembles Bruin or Battlehammer or something than he does actual Gimli. for one thing. But you know, it works, and it's not too overdone. I mean, you could argue it was in the second movie and the third movie, but you know, the balance was there well enough that it didn't really overshadow the main story or the feeling of Middle Earth as it should be presented. Not in the way like Shadow of Mordor or something does. So
Is that considered canon to the movies, or
I
not?
think it is. I don't know though. I hope not, because I don't want it to be. It's not good.
What are we gonna do for a boss fight in Lord of the Rings? Yeah, let's just make the giant eye a boss fight. You know.
Yeah. Well,
They'll
that
heat
was
that
something
up.
that happened in the Third Age, for fuck's sake. The Final Fantasy X fucking RPG where you're playing as a bunch of characters.
Oh, I thought. Okay, you see, I got I forgot that they had made a more modern Lord of the Rings game. I thought you were talking about that the PS2 era one.
Oh yeah, the PS2 era one was just like you playing as all these characters that are like the Fellowship but not really, following the Fellowship around, occasionally starring the Fellowship themselves as guest characters, which is redundant. But
Man, I can't believe that they made someone's fan fiction a video game.
yeah,
That's
and then
great.
there's but then there's like War in the North, which is like a better version of the Third Ages concept, where you're playing a more Mass Effect slash Diablo style action RPG. And that one's actually really good. But then there's Shadow of Mordor and its sequel, Shadow of War, which is like, okay, what if the Lord of the Rings was actually edgy? And it's like, at that point,
Well-
why are we doing anything in Middle Earth anymore? Why don't we just adapt the Game of Thrones again? Why?
Shadow of Mordor is basically, remember that sequel to Sands of Time, Prince of Persia?
Yeah, that.
Basically, it's that.
Yeah,
for Lord of the
kinda.
Rings.
It's more of an Assassin's Creed kind of game in terms of its structure. I mean, you have this open world. you're
I'm more
climbing
talking
around.
about tone.
But yeah, tonally, yeah, it's pretty grim. Unnecessarily so. I like the gameplay, but the story can go screw itself in the backside with a power drill for all I care about it. But yeah, you're basically this edgy guy with an edgy ghost on your side, prowling around the borderlands of Mordor, killing orcs.